This may not be considered breaking news, but it's happened again. Kevin McCarthy has just lost. Martha.
Yeah, you now see in the other column that you've got 6, and that means that the math is not there for Kevin McCarthy on this round. You have to wonder what's going through his mind at this point. He's made enormous concessions. He's put himself in a position where if he is the Speaker of the House, only one vote could overturn that speakership. He's given in on a number of things. Appropriations Committee, where he wouldn't have control over who goes on it. The 20 members, some of them are calling them the rebels, would have a lot of control over that. 3, maybe 4 seats on that Appropriations and Rules Committee. Now, I think your question, Harris, is really interesting. Is there an appetite for this to keep going on out there in the country? And I hear from many people that they do have that appetite.
Yeah.
That they like this process, as messy as it is, and they like the pushback. Because, Rich, you know, they look at this situation and say, well, wait, why did we have to get a $1.7 trillion omnibus bill jammed through right before Christmas again?
Right. Yeah.
And everyone says, oh, this is it's a terrible way to do things. It's a bad way to do stuff. Well, when is it ever going to end?
Yeah, no, that's a totally legit question. And to your question earlier, why did we end up in this place where these negotiations are going on while these failed votes? So the McCarthy theory is like, okay, I don't have 218 on the first ballot, but we'll go out there, I'll lose, but it'll be so embarrassing to all my opponents, and there'll be so much pressure on them, they'll give way. But instead, it's been embarrassing to him, and that's the problem. And if you're an opponent of McCarthy who doesn't want him to win the speakership, every single one of these votes where he fails is a victory. It's a success. It's not an embarrassment.
Well, so, Brett, I heard you in the background saying, we're at 5, it's over. You know, we could get to the point, and I think Rich and Martha had made this point before, that maybe McCarthy does better this time, and there are only 10 or 11. He still hasn't gotten there. Maybe it won't be 20. But you're right, he already got to 5, so he already lost. And, you know, as Chad Pergram schooled me last hour, it was 3 days and 9 votes in 1923. We're almost there.
Yeah, and it's history. It is history in the making. I appreciate everything you're saying, and you're right. I get tweets all the time from somebody saying, no, we're not frustrated with this process. You don't know what conservatives
Yeah, I just want to bring up the point that some people support it.
It's very powerful. It is very powerful, and there are a lot of people saying, no, we can't have this process. However, there's also 200-plus members who are saying we need to move on here, and McCarthy's giving. Remember that all these concessions also upset the moderates and the traditional conservatives who are part of that 200. They're saying, why are you giving this to the 20 folks when, you know, we are in your corner? So he is upsetting the apple cart all over the place. You're going to get to a place where if he doesn't get the numbers, and they do this again and again and again, that it will build and someone else will have to step in.
Where is that place?
I don't think it's Byron
Like, is that
Donalds.
Monday?
I think it's Steve Scalise. Maybe it's Monday, maybe it's tomorrow, but it's a few votes away from where we are now.
The
I think.
the
I
clock
don't think
is
this
ticking.
goes.
That's what you know.
1856, 133 ballots.
Oh, that's right. Brett, I just have a quick follow for you, because I'm really confused about the nominating process and how they come up with people who don't even want the job. I mean, we saw this with Paul Ryan a few years ago. So Jim Jordan didn't want it. He was still, you know, advocating for Kevin McCarthy. Byron Donalds, I mean, he says may or may not happen, an interview that he gave to America Reports yesterday, which is a great interview if you didn't see it. You know, is there somebody who actually wants the job that they can get behind other than Kevin McCarthy?
I think that's a great question. Listen, looking at this, who really does want this? Because you have the slimmest of majorities, and everybody is going to be controlling your leadership. Kennedy would take it. But the nomination process is really up in the air, and they can nominate whoever they want to nominate inside the chamber or outside. What the bottom line is, who is going to get the majority of votes, and I think you have other people in there there'll be other names besides Byron Donalds before we're all done.
It's still a pretty good job, right? It's a major constitutional office. You get an oil painting somewhere. It'll be the first line in your Wikipedia entry.
I'm not doing it for the oil painting.
There'll be someone, not just Kennedy.
Just get that straight.
I mean, it's interesting, just to real quickly, that this is the second day that Byron Donalds' name is in nomination, and we haven't seen that before. Everybody else got one day, and I was told by a number of people people, oh, they're just going to scroll through because it's anybody but Kevin for this narrow group. But I think they may be settling on Byron Donalds.
Isn't that interesting?
That's right. I feel like we're watching a coagulation occur with him that we didn't in the past, and perhaps this is going to be the thing, the spark that ignites that fire in his direction. I had a friend that took the California bar 9 times. He passed on the ninth try. So there is something to be said for sticking it out. Where I think
my cousin Vinny, isn't that?
Oh, yeah, something like that. But to your point, Rich, earlier, you know, the clock is ticking, but the longer it goes on, the more that fatigue might actually work against Kevin McCarthy, whereas I think people predicted in the beginning the fatigue would work in his favor.
Correct.
And I think it seems like we're seeing an energy being stimulated here on behalf of Donald.
Can I posit that it's worse than a fatigue? What if it is because he is so weak that he starts to lose even more people? And that weakness is worse than people getting tired.
You know,
it's people losing trust.
It starts as a minor movement, and at some point it reaches critical mass. And that's why this group of people is not backing down, because they see, even though it's minute, momentum is shifting in their favor and shifting away from Kevin McCarthy. Every time he loses another ballot, it takes a piece out of him.
I'm sorry, Brett, what did you say?
It's still 200 to 20. I mean, the numbers haven't changed. There was one who voted present. So until we see some big change, I hear what you're saying, guys, that there's possibility that the numbers start to shift, but it's still 201.
But then what if they adjourn?
But you need 218.
Yeah. Right, and if they
that is a majority that they don't have.
That they don't have. And Brett, the other thing that I would say to that is, who's capitulating to whom right now? Yes, it's 200 to 20, but the 20 have some mojo that the 200 don't have right now. And Emily, I saw your face light up. What happens?
What do they need?
What do you mean, what do they need?
Apparently anyone but Kevin McCarthy.
They're getting everything that they've asked for.
Well, apparently they don't want what they have. So we don't know yet. But Emily, I saw your face light up. What if you're a member of those 200 and you've been supporting, and they get, like, the 20 get special committee rules, they get all the things, and you didn't get to ask for anything.
Right, and I wonder, too, you know, remember after that second vote, we saw the potential motion for an adjournment, and we saw the clerk say, do not vote yes on this and absolutely not. Well, at what point, too, does that critical mass occur where there is a motion brought and it is granted, and then behind closed doors, perhaps that 200 that Brett is mentioning that we see, perhaps they are somehow swayed for this new delegation? Because to Kennedy's point, if it is anyone but McCarthy, if there is a way that that is somehow articulated, if that is appreciated by those remaining members, regardless of committee, maybe then they'll say, this is what persuaded me.